back to another video. Now, today's video, guys, we're going to be doing round 2 of the horror slasher movie matchups, and it is going to be Candyman from the Candyman franchise going up against Pennywise from the It franchise. But first, of course, I do have some quick announcements to make. I'm not going to re-explain all the rules and how everything works. If you have not seen round 1, go see round 1 so you can see all the rules and how the point system works and everything like that, so that you can understand this before you go into this video. And also so you can see who won in that one and who will be going up against whoever wins in this one. If you see round 1, then you will know that. So, yeah, make sure you go see round 1 if you have not. Otherwise, you're not going to really understand much. Yeah, I think that's it for, as far as the video goes. I'll explain later when I actually get into talking about the battle and all that. But as far as just other miscellaneous stuff that's outside of this video, read the pinned post so that you can stay up to date with any potential future content or changes that is coming, and join the Discord link will always be in the description of your video. Let's get on to the main section of the video now. I will tell you this battle is going to be a lot different from round 1, which is the reason why I put these two together, because they are very similar in terms of, you know, how they're summoned and, yeah, just their character and stuff like that, which is why I put Freddy Krueger and Pinhead together and Pennywise and Candyman together, because both sets of teams are very, very close with each other. But this is going to make round 5, I believe it was round 5, even more interesting, because whoever wins this round is going up against arguably the best, one of the most powerful slasher killers. So it's going to make it even more difficult because they are not similar to each other. But these first 2 rounds should be a little bit easier, but that doesn't mean they're not difficult. It was very difficult for me to decide. I had to do a lot of research, and I'm going to be linking this very helpful article in the description below if you want to. It's just really for credit, but if you want to go check it out, go ahead. But I'm going to be using it for reference in this video. But yeah, let's take a look at the stats. You know how it goes now if you've seen round 1. So for Candyman, weapon/power utility, I think against any other slasher killer, I would probably give him a 10 out of 10. But in this case, I'm giving a 9 out of 10 just because I think Pennywise has a little bit of upper hand, and I'll talk about that when I get onto his stats. But Candyman's powers include immortality, teleportation, superhuman strength, summon a massive army of bees, telekinesis, levitate, and invisibility. And also not mentioned, but I did see this in another article, he also does have regenerative abilities. So I'm giving him a 9 out of 10 for weapon/power utility. You'll see why when I talk about Pennywise's stats. And because he has regenerative powers, and he doesn't really tolerate any, or he can tolerate basically any pain, I'm giving him a 10 out of 10 for durability. Now, I know some of you are probably asking, well, you know, what's the case for Pinhead, though? Because, you know, he wasn't able to, or he doesn't able to tolerate any pain either. I think I made a big mistake by not looking up if he could regenerate, but I will definitely check that when I get on to round 5, when one of these 2 will be going up against Pinhead. Durability, I'm giving him a 10 out of 10 just because I know that he can regenerate, and he is also capable of tolerating the pain, or capable of tolerating basically any extreme amount of pain. And it doesn't mean he's immortal, of course. It just means that you basically have to completely obliterate Candyman, because he cannot really be stunned, because he can't feel pain. And hand-to-hand combat, I'm going to be giving him a 7 out of 10, just because he has the superhuman strength, and even though we haven't seen him go against any other slasher killer, I think it's safe to say that he would do a pretty good job if it was a last resort and he did have to use just pure strength to fight. So that brings Candyman's total points to 26 points. So let's look at Pennywise's stats now. For weapon/power utility, is it 20? Yeah, it is 26 points. Okay, sorry guys, I was second-guessing myself. But anyways, for Pennywise's stats, giving a 10 out of 10 on this one. Let's just review the stats, and then we'll talk about why I gave him a 10 out of 10 as opposed to a 9 out of 10. So his powers include telepathy, mind control/possession, shape-shifting, illusions, invisibility, telekinesis, chlorokinesis, teleportation, superhuman strength, and speed. So, as you can see, a lot of the powers that Pennywise has, Candyman has as well, which would largely just cancel out everything. But I think Pennywise would single-handedly have the upper hand just with his shape-shifting ability, right? Because if he can turn into any other form, then he can gain the stats of that other form, which can make him very powerful. But I feel like anything that Pennywise is capable of knowing that exists is just going to be things that Candyman can easily fight off anyway. So, even if Pennywise changed into, I don't know, like a great white shark, right? A great white shark obviously doesn't have as much of mental capacity as Candyman does, or even Pennywise does, to be able to fight him off. So I think the shape-shifting ability does give him an upper hand somehow, and I mean, there's just thousands of things you could think about that he could turn into that could give him the upper hand against Candyman. So it's not a huge upper edge, but I think he just has a few extra powers in there that Candyman happened to not have that gives him the 1 point upper edge. It's nothing too huge. And then for durability, 10 out of 10 again. He can basically completely tolerate pain, and he can regenerate. It's for the same exact reasons as Candyman. And for hand-to-hand combat, I think it's safe to assume that he would also be able to fight another slasher killer very well if he happened to do so. So I gave him a 7 out of 10 for hand-to-hand combat. And that's just because he does have the superhuman strength, so it gives him an extra 2 points up from the 5 points that I would give him if I didn't have any knowledge. But because he has the superhuman strength, I'm going to give him the extra 2 points for both of them. Because we're aware that they have superhuman strength, even though we've never seen them go up against another person that meets their capabilities. So that gives Pennywise a total of 27 points. So again, Candyman, 26 points, and Pennywise, 27 points. So Pennywise does have the 1 point lead. What does this mean? Does Pennywise just automatically win due to the points? Well, I'd like to have a little bit of discussion before I just end the video and say, well, Pennywise had 1 extra point, so he automatically wins. So how would this fight likely go down? What would likely happen to even summon one of these people so that they could get together? Assuming that Pennywise and Candyman do exist in the same universe, what would more likely happen is Pennywise would be aware of Candyman's existence. He would say Candyman's name 3 times to the mirror, which would summon Candyman and trigger the fight, in which that wouldn't really change anything. There wouldn't be any home field advantage or any, that crap that we've seen in round 1. So I think Pennywise would still have the upper hand and ultimately would get him the win for round 2. Just because his abilities, I think there's a little bit more of a variety, and he just has a slight upper hand on that part. Everything else, they are almost completely synonymous in. Even in their powers and their their power capabilities and everything like that. There's so many of their powers that the other person also has, which just cancels stuff out. But Pennywise, unfortunately, does have a few extra powers in his arsenal that I think would give him the upper hand in this fight. So very, very close, but Pennywise will be advancing to, I believe it was round 5, up against Pinhead. So it's going to be the ultimate fight, Pinhead versus Pennywise. And I believe there's going to be additional fights after that. It's not going to be the grand finale. I think the grand finale is going to be round 10. But Pennywise versus Pinhead, these are going to be 2 very, very powerful slasher killers going up against each other. And it's going to be very, very difficult to decide that, I can already tell. Because it took me a while already to just decide who I thought was going to win in this one. So what do you guys think in the end? Do you think I was wrong? Do you think Candyman actually would be able to win for some reason? I feel like if he was able to win, it would have something to do with maybe his hand-to-hand combat skills. I think maybe he would have a little bit of an upper hand in that case. But what do you guys think? Am I wrong? Tell me in the comment section. Who do you think would win in the comment section? Please tell me. I want to know. I want to have a discussion in the comment section. This is not just about me putting my opinion out there and advancing the rounds. This is also about just having some fun discussion as well. So tell me in the comment section below if you think I was wrong or who do you think would win. And I think that is pretty much it for the matchup. So round 3 is going to be the one you have all been waiting for and was probably one of my most favorite slasher matchups that we've ever done. It is going to be Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees for round 3. Then after that is going to be Chucky versus Leprechaun, and then it's going to be the advancing rounds. So yes, round 5 will be Pennywise versus Pinhead, and then the final round will be the winner of that round 5 versus the winner of round 6, which I'll get to discussing more about that in the future rounds. So round 5 is not going to be the finale ender, but it's going to be a finale determiner, and it's going to be very, very difficult to decide. So make sure you stay tuned for that future content, and read the community post so that you can know when that future content is going to come out, or any potential future changes that are coming. Join the Discord. As always, the link will always be in the description of every video, and in this video, there will also be the link to that article that I used for reference in this video. It was very, very helpful for gathering the powers and abilities, and also to just give me an idea of who maybe would be able to win. Just gave me more of a reassuring that other people also agree with me in some capacity. So, yeah, I think that is all for the announcements. And, yeah, other than that, like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you next time.